cards on the table. So we'll see what happens.
In your opinion, does Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson ever happen?
Of course. Why not? Why not?
That's the fight the world want to see. Anything you got you want to let the fans know to keep their eye on?
Tune in September the 14th.
He's 27, he's a 3-division world champion. His boxing IQ is on another level. You know, Tank is a great fighter, but I believe Shakur Stevenson beats him. I don't think we'll see that fight this year, but I do think we'll see it in 2025.
After all the drama, the teams behind Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis, led by Leonard Ellerbe and Eddie Hearn, have finally signed the deal everyone's been waiting for. A boxing match between the two slated for the first quarter of 2025. It's been a roller coaster of negotiations and back and forths, but we've made it here. And let's be real, Shakur Stevenson has been ready to throw down from day one. But if we're keeping it real, it's Gervonta Davis's hesitance that's kept this fight on the back burner until now. The whole boxing world is holding its breath to see what's next for Gervonta Tank Davis. What's the plan? Well, he's keeping us all on our toes, but rest assured, when he's ready to spill, he'll make sure we know. Now, here's the juicy gist that's been flying under the radar. Shakur Stevenson just signed a deal with Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing Promotions. And one of the key conditions for his signature? Eddie had to promise to lock in a fight between Stevenson and Davis. That's right. Neither Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions nor Floyd Mayweather's Mayweather Promotions could deliver on this kind of high-stakes bout, both thinking it was next to impossible to arrange anytime soon. But Shakur, he's got that fighter's mindset, determined and relentless. He's convinced this clash with Davis is not just a possibility, it's inevitable. And honestly, who wouldn't want to see that? It's going to be one for the history books, no doubt.
That's how his mentality is, but I think that I think he gonna fight me. I think that's gonna be a big fight and it's gonna happen.
While Oscar De La Hoya was promising Shakur Stevenson a fight with William Zepeda, which, let's be honest, is a far cry from the Gervonta Davis showdown Stevenson was demanding, Eddie Hearn swooped in with something far more tempting. Hearn, who's become quite the master at sealing deals, knew exactly what Stevenson wanted and had the guts to make it happen, just like he did with Edgar Berlanga. Remember when boxing promoters were scrambling to get Berlanga's signature? Eddie Hearn stepped up and promised him the one fight he was craving, a face-off with the legendary Saul Canelo Alvarez. No other promotions, not even Golden Boy, could come close to offering such a marquee matchup.
Then I believe he should move on and fight Tank, but you know, a lot of people like to offer you 3-4 year deals, unless you're a prospect starting out. I feel like it's a long time to commit.
Eddie Hearn has this unique ability to cut through the noise and offer fighters what they really want, and it's paying off in a big way. Look at Berlanga. He signed on the dotted line, and sure enough, his next fight is against Canelo Alvarez this month, just as Hearn promised. And here we are again, with Shakur Stevenson. After calling out Gervonta Davis for what feels like forever, Stevenson's dreams are finally materializing, thanks to Hearn. In less than 2 weeks after signing with Matchroom Boxing Promotions, Stevenson's fight date with Davis is not just a hope, it's a reality. Sealed, confirmed, and ready to go. This is a huge moment, not just for Stevenson, but for Matchroom as well. They're not just building the best stable of fighters, they're becoming the go-to for anyone looking to make history. It's one thing to have the talent, but to have the pull to make these fights happen. That's how legends are made, both in and out of the ring. Matchroom is proving they're not just in the game, they're leading it.
Difficult for Shakur. I think it's a tough fight, honestly. Like, Joe's a hell of a fighter. Zepeda is a brilliant fight. And then if he comes through those two fights, I think his profile will be in a brilliant play.
This is shaping up to be a pivotal chapter in Shakur Stevenson's career, and not everyone saw it coming. Sure, he's been tipped as one of the most promising fighters in the game, but his recent move has set the boxing world abuzz. After his stellar decision win over Artem Harutyunyan in July, Stevenson decided to part ways with his longtime promoter, Top Rank. Can you believe he walked away from a whopping 5-fight, $15 million deal? That's the kind of cash most fighters would jump at, but not Shakur. He had bigger ambitions. While Top Rank was left in the dust, Stevenson was fielding offers from some of the biggest names in the game. Imagine having Oscar De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather Jr. vying for your signature. But here's the twist. Instead of going with these boxing titans, Shakur decided to hitch his wagon to Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. Well, Hearn wasn't just offering dollar signs, he was offering a legacy. The UK-based promoter didn't just see Stevenson as another fighter. He saw him as a generational talent, a potential legend in the making. And just like that, Hearn put his money where his mouth is. Stevenson's first major test under Matchroom's banner will be against the undefeated Joe Cordina. It's no walk in the park. Cordina is a hell of a fighter, but if Shakur can get through that bout in a potential clash with the ever-dangerous William Zepeda, his star will shine even brighter. It's a high-stakes game, but Hearn has made it clear he's betting big on Shakur Stevenson, and he's determined to deliver on the promises that lured the young champ to his stable. Stevenson's move could very well redefine his career, and Hearn knows it. "This young man should be a global superstar," he said, "and with our machine behind him, he will land all the big fights and receive all the credit that he deserves." The journey kicks off on October 12th in Riyadh, and the boxing world will be watching. After a whirlwind year that saw Shakur Stevenson flirt with retirement, only to snap back with a vengeance, the boxing world is buzzing once again. Remember when he briefly hung up his gloves earlier this year? That decision sent shockwaves through the boxing world, but it didn't take long for Stevenson to return, laser-focused and more adamant than ever. He fired back at critics who dared to label him as a boring fighter, letting them know his time would come. And now, it's finally here. The next chapter of Stevenson's career is being written under the glittering lights of Matchroom with the guidance of an advisory team led by the savvy James Prince and Josh Dubin. These are names that carry weight in the industry, and they've got big plans for Stevenson. Eddie Hearn, who's been singing Shakur's praises, isn't holding back. "I know how good this kid is. He may be unbeatable. I know he's a pound-for-pound star." There's something about Shakur Stevenson's mentality. This is high praise from a man who's seen it all, and he's putting his reputation on the line for the 2016 Olympic silver medalist. Stevenson's pro career has already been impressive, with victories over top-tier fighters like Edwin de los Santos, Oscar Valdez, Robson Conceição, and Jamel Herring. These names aren't just stepping stones, they're formidable opponents, and Shakur dispatched them with the precision of a seasoned champion. But for Stevenson, these wins were just appetizers. He's been hungry for the main course, those higher-profile clashes that cement legacies. For too long, he's claimed, Top Rank kept him waiting in the wings, stalling his career when it should have been skyrocketing. Fights against the biggest names in the sport, Gervonta Davis, Vasily Lomachenko, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and Teofimo Lopez Jr., were always tantalizingly close but never materialized. It's a list of dream matchups that could have made headlines worldwide, but instead they remain just that, dreams. Now the pressure is on Hearn to turn those dreams into reality. He's not just inheriting a fighter, he's inheriting the weight of unmet expectations. The boxing world will be watching closely to see if Hearn can deliver where others have fallen short. If he can secure those blockbuster bouts, he'll not only elevate Shakur Stevenson to the superstardom he deserves, but also solidify Matchroom's dominance in the sport. And for Shakur, this is his chance to silence the critics for good and prove that he's not just a pound-for-pound great in the making, he's the real deal, ready to take on the very best and come out on top. In the wake of signing Shakur Stevenson to Matchroom Boxing, Eddie Hearn isn't holding back on his grand vision for the WBC Lightweight World Championship. The ink is barely dry on the contract, and Hearn is already plotting an ambitious path for the Newark, New Jersey native. Up first, Stevenson will put his title on the line against Joe Cordina in Riyadh on October 12th. But Hearn has his sights set on even bigger fish in the boxing sea. For me, the roadmap is clear. We go Joe Cordina, then William Zepeda, and finally, Gervonta Davis, Hearn revealed in a candid interview on Matchroom Boxing's YouTube channel. Hearn's words aren't just bravado, they're a blueprint for what could be one of the most electrifying fights in recent boxing history. And Hearn is wasting no time getting the ball rolling. Plans are already in motion for a press conference in Los Angeles to officially introduce Stevenson as the newest star under the Matchroom umbrella. From there, it's full steam ahead in building the three-division World Champions brand, with 135 pounds as the immediate battleground. But Hearn's vision doesn't stop there. He's already eyeing a future where Stevenson conquers the 140-pound division as well. The buzz around a potential Shakur Stevenson versus Gervonta Tank Davis showdown has only intensified after negotiations with Vasily Lomachenko fell through. Hearn has been in a fierce competition, with the world's top promoters to secure Stevenson after the 27-year-old became a free agent following the end of his deal with Top Rank. Tank Davis was originally on track to face Lomachenko in a unification bout at 135 pounds, but the Ukrainian star backed out, leaving the door wide open for a clash with Stevenson. The timing couldn't be better for Hearn and Stevenson, who are both eager to make this fight happen. I wouldn't be surprised to see Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson come to fruition, because in boxing, timing and circumstances are everything, Hearn shared. Tank had all his eggs in the Lomachenko basket, but when that fight fell through, he was left with no one to face. And here comes Shakur, a free agent, ready to make a deal. Timing is everything. Handle Cordina, handle Zepeda, and then Shakur versus Tank will be the biggest fight in boxing.
Has there been any talks with Tank's team?
They reached out, but we told them to come back with an offer. And as far as that, we ain't heard nothing since then. Me and him fighting each other, we'll seal the deal on the kings of that division, the kings of this era, the kings of everything. So, like I've been saying it for years, the moment is gonna come. And
Hearn's pursuit of Stevenson wasn't just about signing another fighter. It was about securing a generational talent. The promoter has been in discussions with Stevenson since the champion made an appearance at a Matchroom event in July. But the burning question remains, what will Tank do? Earlier this month, a rumor surfaced from Tank's co-trainer, Kenny Ellis, suggesting that Lomachenko might step aside to allow a Davis-Stevenson fight, provided he gets to face the winner in 2025. Ellis dropped the bombshell on Instagram, posting, "Breaking news. Lomachenko said he will step aside and let Gervonta Davis fight Shakur Stevenson this fall, and he'll fight the winner early, 2025. This rumor took off after Stevenson's victory over Artem Harutyunyan, where he retained his WBC lightweight title. The fight ended with some boos from the crowd, a reaction that Stevenson, now 27, is becoming all too familiar with. But Stevenson was quick to defend his performance, saying, "It's kind of hard to prove it if you don't got a fighter trying to fight back." Stevenson's skill and talent are undeniable, but the big question is whether he brings enough financial incentive for Tank to take the risk. Davis, fresh off yet another spectacular knockout victory, this time over Frank Martin in the 8th round, may be looking for the next big payday. The stage is set, the stakes are high, and the boxing world is waiting to see if Hearn can pull off what could be the fight of a generation. If he does, it won't just be a victory for Stevenson, it'll be a defining moment in the sport's history. Make sure you hit subscribe button for more boxing updates. You don't want to miss out. Thanks for watching.